1 lollipop, 2 lollipops, 3 lollipops. Don't mind me, Zach. This is how I wake myself up. So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking about him. Boondock is the skeletal gentleman friend.
Now that's what I'm talking about. You can't get fine eating like this at any of those, so make sure you... Thanks, mister. Next time you get a hankering for old-time Creole food, just stop on by.
はい、こんにちは、たかしさん。さあ、アイテム多いね。こんばんは。
This is the deep south. I feel it every time that molten hot sun pours down on me. Don't you, Zach?
今涼しい。今涼しい。でもまだ昼だからかな。ちょっと風ね。風ある。
Did you find Melvin?
Nope. I can't find either of them.
Either of them?
Yeah. When I went home, it wasn't just my daddy who was missing. Mama was gone too. This never happened before.
Zach, we need to stop Professor R's plan no matter what it takes. Relax, Patty. You don't need to worry about a thing. I'm sure that Melvin just stumbled across an important clue that's stolen his attention for now. And I'm sure he's protecting your mother while he's at it. Let's just leave the investigation to the local police and rest for today. I need to prepare a report for the HQ anyway. How about staying with me in my room until we find them?
But...
You don't need to worry. I can't make you any homemade food, but I've got a first-class chef and a first-class concierge at my disposal. Oh, and a very affable bellboy. It's a lot of fun at that hotel.
But... Okay, I guess. Thanks, Agent York.
You're a lady, so you take the bed. Zach and I will be fine on the couch.
仕方ない。パトリツィアの父ちゃんいないね。亡くなったみたい。
Zach, the Clarkson family tree is nothing like we thought it was. We need to reorganize everything we've uncovered. She was so tired she fell right to sleep. Hey, Zach, I'm in a very difficult spot right now. I feel like this case is heading in a direction that will be extremely unpleasant for her. I've never felt anything like this during any of our cases thus far.
So,
First, let's go back to the beginning. Lise Clarkson's body was found hanging under a bridge over the bayou, in a deserted spot close to where the bayou meets the Mississippi. The one who fired the pistol at Heaven surely had no idea what he would find there. Speaking of which, Zach, Chuck, the man who started
Yeah.
this race we're running, what's his occupation?
パトリツィアの父ちゃんいなくなったからね。仕方ない。Besitzer des Games. Flusskrebszüchter. Flusskrebszüchter だね。カニの。
That's right. He's a
合
crawfish
ってる。
farmer. And after chasing a poacher's boat that crossed over into his farmland, he went up the bayou and was
小人の人。
fortunate enough to find Lisa's body. I doubt it was a very pleasant experience for him. But if not for his discovery, Lisa's body might have started. He's a difficult person to be sure, but I don't think he's a... Chuck said something peculiar.
はい、こんばんは。
He claimed the Clarksons were a little better when their son was still around. I don't know exactly what he meant, but we ended up meeting the person he was talking about, didn't we? Under very unexpected circumstances. Leonard Clarkson. He ran away from home, found his true self, then changed names. So, Zach, do you remember her name?
Helenaダウンマンね。
Helena Doman.
ペーパードイズ。
The townspeople call her
いや
Lena.
いつかやるね。
She was also known as
Itzukayare.
Professor R while she plotted against the Clarksons. She's the mother of the new drug known as Sang Rouge. She must have also had a group of followers who worshipped her fanatically. I can see it now. Lena sprinkling down the red
こいつ
powder,
も死んだ。
corrupting every last pure and innocent girl in town. Lena mentioned her plan each time we met. She must have taken us for utter fools, Zach. She thought she
Yeah,
was
yeah,
always
yeah.
one step ahead of us, and that we'd never see the full scope of
プレ
her
イステー
plan.
ションに出ればね。
Well, her plan isn't complete yet, and I know we can still stop it. That's why we need to learn all we can about her. Her alias was Professor R, and she was well learned in the areas of medicine and fire dynamics. By the way, Zach, do you remember what weapon Lena used to murder PJ?
Machete und Axt かも。
A machete and an axe. Pamela and Jason Voorhees. A sad tale of a mother and son who truly loved each other. And perhaps it was also meant as a warning for young people who planned to go camping that summer. 1980, directed by Sean S. Cunningham. Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
But my personal favorite character
Zetai.
has to be the adult Jason who first appears in Friday the 13th Part 2. I even cried when they showed us just how well he'd taken care of his mother's head. Okay, Zach. I think that's enough digressing for now.
あ、そう。合ってなかったか。ミニボンブか。
She used a miniature bomb. To tell you the truth, she surprised me. That bomb was so well placed. It left hardly any damage on the building, yet still did amazing work on them. Lena should have used that brain of hers for something more productive than that saga of revenge. For example, reviving Lucare's economy from the... Widen your perspective, and you'll see that Louisiana is an industrial treasure trove. With her intelligence and her charisma, I'm sure she would have found such a tragedy. Zach, there's one more important matter we need to think about here. Galena Clarkson, who was murdered in jail. Her body was dismembered, then rearranged into a V shape. Patty and Melvin claimed it was a severed roots killing. But that doesn't make sense to me. And PJ Clarkson disapproved of it when I met him in the other world. He saw Galena's parts lined up and was overcome by it. Tell me, who killed Galena? Unfortunately, we don't have the answer to this one yet. And it's too big a problem to solve with mere speculation. The answer to this question may lead to a major turning point and the final turning point for this story. I only hope it doesn't push us down an avenue we didn't plan on exploring.
Korekara episode 3かなチャプター3かも
Hey, Zach.
何見てたん
Do you remember PJ's last words? Lena had intercourse with her older sister. Her own flesh and blood. This means there's still one more person out there who inherited PJ's blood.
Mukashi no douga? どの動画かな何のバンドねRE2 リメイク
Oh, fucking poachers, now I gotcha. Caught you red-handed.
What the fuck かな何これねわおめっちゃデブあはチャプター2を終わった怖いねさっきの
Soon. I'm almost there. Just... Please, someone. Stop that. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Let me try and summarize this. Helena Doman was the mastermind, but Helena Doman was actually P.J. Clarkson's son. Helena was also known as Professor R.
That's right.
She was responsible for everything?
Not
こ
everything.
こ話多いね。
Almost everything went according to her plan.
But if you'd already figured out that much, why did you continue to stay and look?
Because we had...
You had to.
The goddess was still...
The goddess.
The goddess...
Lise Clarkson's body.
Not her. She was as beautiful, but she wasn't the goddess.
Then who is the goddess of fertility?
The person at the root of...
Is it some kind of metaphor? For example, the vast wealth at the red powder.
The goddess of fertility embodied abundant, and that void was... Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Are you okay, Mr. Morgan almost sounds like a prophet talking about the end of the world. Vague, elusive, and intent on deceiving those. But every now and then he adds an interval. Patricia Clarkson is... she's something special. Instead of kicking your floor, perhaps it'd be wiser to invest in a soundproofing mat.
Are you irritated? Yes. You think we lack a common human trait. We're crazy.
I would never go that far, but you did surprise me. Just doesn't seem like the kind of attitude one should display when in the company.
Yes, we're sorry. It just made us remember a time when that noise kept ringing out. That flight from Newark Liberty to Seattle Tacoma. It was the first flight we took as FBI. The plane was shaking violently due to and when we looked to the side, we saw a young mother. We got worried. So then, the baby, it was so loud. And since it was so loud, the rest of... At first, the mother and I waved our hands, trying to... But our efforts were in vain. The more our anxiety levels rose, the louder, shrill, and piercing. As if we were powerless. And the baby's mother would... Once the plane landed safely in Tacoma, we heaved a sigh of relief. And then she said... Whose child is this? We were shocked. So, apparently, sometime after she boarded the flight, that baby, then, it ordered her to call me over. And kept sitting there, as if, can you believe that, Belle? Bizarre, isn't it? While we were talking, the being responsible for all that loud, grating noise. Ever since then, whenever I hear a baby, well, was it some sort of...
The logs in the center look far more burnt compared to the... Almost looks like they were used in conjunction with some kind of accelerant. Did you recently burn something there?
It's our fireplace. We're free to use it.
I see traces of resin, which leads me to believe you burned up some sort of It doesn't matter what kind of fireplace you have. Burning anything other than Next time, don't burn it up at home. Dispose of it like you would any other non-burnable, especially if it was something like a smartphone or a USB.
Non-burnable. Let's be serious here, Belle. That's exactly the sort of data one needs to thoroughly remember what you learned at Quantico. You're still searching for Patricia, yes?
You don't need to worry about that. We're investigating. In fact, we've almost reached our goal.
この人パトリシアと思うね。
We just need to find some conclusive...
Oh, we sincerely hope. Hard to believe, though. After all, so far you've just been barking up.
Barking up the wrong
That's right. You shouldn't be wasting time here. You should be out.
Then I'll just ask you straight away. Do you know where...
No, we don't. But we can feel her when we close our eyes. It's very faint, but we can see it.
Are you trying to distract me again? Or do you really expect me to believe you're clairvoyant or something?
What do you think we are? It's metaphysical.
He actually asked me, does he have full confidence that we'll never find... Fine. I'll just ask him everything I can about the Le Carré cave. This square area enclosed by milk cartons. Is it another sanctuary?
そう。色違うけど、でも顔とか似てる。
The more I look around, the more I feel like there's some sort of system to all this.
と、
The
パトリシ
sanctuary
アは
on
ロ
this
スト
table.
ね。
The
ロスト。
fireplace sanctuary.
でもこの人と思う。
And the milk carton sanctuary. They all lead into the room back there.
母ちゃんじゃない。
And there's one
これ
more by the
future
window, and
です
yet
ね。
another
future。
by my feet. Are they signs?
そのパトリシア幼女の時は前ね。前。14年前。14年前ね。
Or is this all some sort of path?
今大きくなった。だからこの人と思う。
Hey, Belle, is that a serious question?
Of course it is.
We're drying them. We line the milk cartons up so we can turn them into
Halloween? It's only January.
This is America. Got a problem with that?
So you think Galena was murdered by Helena Doman?
No. Galena was someone.
Then who killed her?
It's written in the report, is it?
Yes. But would you mind answering me in your own words? You see, I find your entire story highly suspicious.
It's a complicated, extremely. By the way, how did the FBI find Lisa's body? After 14 whole years.
That's none of your business.
Are you saying they just happened to be investigating the Clarksons' cold store? That there was some undercover...
I said it's none of your business.
Well, then we'll just have to get... It was a tip related to... Did we hit the nail on the head? But that's not what we want to know about. After all, the FBI gets hundreds of tips. Right, my fairy? It was always that way. Here's what we really want to know. Why, out of all those tips, would you tell us that much? What urged you to make a beeline?
That's none of your business. Don't let him draw you into his game. Stay The future influences the present just as much. You asked me why I spent an entire 2 days observing you before I came to... Well, here's why. Over those 49 hours, I observed that when you were neither doing something nor doing... I intently studied your intervals between action to action. People reveal everything during the intervals between their acts. For example, when you eat alone versus eating with someone else. The most prominent differences always appear when someone either begins or finishes eating a meal. And since these are unconscious actions, they can't be consciously hidden. When you prepare to eat or when you move in to clean up, when you pick up a book or close one, when you raise a cup of... Human actions speak volume. Not even the person doing the actions is conscious of them. That's my modus operandi. And here's the conclusion it helped me reach.
これ interesting ね。
There's one other
こんばんは。
person in this house, isn't there?
You're incredible, Bill. You outdid all our expectations. Impressive to see. You're right, Bill. But only half.
Half?
You should still be proud, though. Honestly, we never thought you'd make it this far. You've got...
Most of what you say... If this goes to court, I won't let you claim that your testimony is inadmissible just because of your little indulgence there.
Fine by us. We can even put it in writing if you want. We won't run or hide. Will we, my fairy? Where's the paper? I know I had it around here somewhere. Where is it? Ooh. Ooh. We're fine.
Hey, everything okay? What's going on out here? Oh, don't tell me.
He's just suffering from nausea. I was more worried about you. You were in there for quite some time.
Yeah, sorry. Ever since you got here, I've been all backed up.
Mr. Morgan, can you stand?
Is this a sign from the coffee? What could it be? What is it trying to tell me? Think.
Is that a dragonfly?
Footsteps. Big footsteps. Footsteps. Big footsteps.
Some odd fella was following her around. Stalking her like.
That poor girl, Lise. She was into the real.
The Red Soul has the power to amplify the unique characteristics we all possess, mentally and physically. That's why I created the Holy Red Powder.
You okay?
We're fine. Just... Would you take us to get our medicine?
Sure. Whew. Seems like he's calmed down a little. We should let him rest for a while.
One more step and I could have cornered, but so I can still keep investigating even if the owner of this chair isn't. Simon Jones, what a piece of work. How can anyone have such bad... Shouldn't you look after him?
I gave him his meds and let him rest.
Let him rest where?
In the bathtub. It happened to have a blanket and a pillow in it.
What?
I don't know. Maybe he's sleeping. I feel like I saw that once in some vampire movie.
I don't know what you're talking about. More importantly, how long has he been like that?
It's stage 4 cancer.
No. No, I'm talking about his face. It looks as white as a sheet. You can even see all his veins. I've never heard of any cancer side effect like...
Who knows? But now that you mention it, he started going really crazy around the beginning of December.
In what way?
He changed pizza places.
This better not be another...
It's not, really. It's not. Before December, he always used to order delivery from a Chicago-style joint all the way up near Med. But one day, he took one look at one of their trademarked red boxes.
Red, huh?
You better believe. He started screaming gibberish at the pizza boy, and next thing I know, I see him toss the pizza box.
Do you think that's when his fear of red began surfacing more prominently?
Beats me. There isn't a better Chicago-style pizza place. How could someone give up on that just because they don't like the box? I don't...
Were you serious for even a fraction of that story? Why do you think he's trying to survive so badly? What does he hope to achieve?
What do you mean?
He who has a why to live can bear almost any how.
No more Nietzsche. Please, just stop. I feel like my ears are...
Hey, Agent Jones. Want to know why I love Nietzsche's quotes so much? I first discovered Nietzsche in a shelter after Katrina. At the time, I was shell-shocked, hopeless. I wanted to die.
こんばんは、かすみんさん。
How could a 13-year-old girl go on living alone with her little brother?
今日一緒にバイオ語、やりますか?
Then, in that shelter, I met a college
あと
professor.
2時間くらい?
His school was damaged by the hurricane, too, and got closed down. He also lost his family and was living there in the shelter, just like me. So we gradually started spending more time together. I'll never forget the 3 months I spent with him. He loved Nietzsche. And out of all of Nietzsche's quotes, there was one from Thus Spoke Zarathustra that he repeated over and over. Better know nothing than better be a fool on one's own than a sage on other people. I thought it was a strange quote to hear from a college professor, you know? Why would he think it would be good to be a fool? But I understand what he meant now.
やりたい。OK。
He was trying to encourage my
私
little
少
brother
しこ
and
の
I,
ゲームやるね。
so that we'd be able to bear the weight of the victim label that was about to be slapped onto us. So that we could go on respecting ourselves without ever succumbing to all the patronizers. After that, my grandmother in Lafayette took us in. And that was the last time I ever saw the professor. But whenever I quote Nietzsche, my memories of him come flowing, and they give me the power I need. So I'm going to keep quoting Nietzsche, just to make sure I don't...
Oh, Nietzsche is to you. Sorry for giving you a hard time about it. You are free to go on quoting him whenever you want, of course. I won't...
Agent Jones. What the hell is wrong with you? How dare you compare Nietzsche with
Oh, come on. Let me get one thing straight. You started this investigation based on what kind of a tip? Phone or mail?
What does that matter at this point?
やりましょう。
This may
私
surprise you, but
私
these
も
kinds
今
of
日やり
details
たい。
really eat me up inside. I always get hung up on the most insignificant of details, especially during the most vital times. You know how people go to bed early the night before they have a big job? That's exactly the time where I start focusing on, when did I last clip my nails? How long is my milk good for? I just can't help myself. I can't. It's just the way I am.
It was sent in an envelope. Postmarked December 28th, sent out from Louisiana.
What did it have inside?
A postcard with a dragonfly on it. A wrapped sample of Sang Rouge.
買ってバイオ語を買ってね
And a note.
名作なゲー
What
ム
did it
で
say?
バイオ語
Investigate the Clarksons.
コープ面白い
That's it?
Yes.
Who's FK?
Anonymous tip, remember? It's obviously just a fake name.
Did you confirm that?
Of course I
で
did.
も2人だけできるバイオ語は2人だけ
Louisiana has a population of 4.5 million. The FBI database has a list of 6,682 individuals. 1 out of every 6 individuals is a child under the age of 14. The remaining 5,500 people include those whose initials changed after or incarcerated individuals. After subtracting those, I was left with 38. That's when I stopped searching for FK, and I decided to change up my approach. It isn't important where the tip came from. All that matters is solving the case. I got this far by taking the most efficient route possible. Are you satisfied now?
Yeah. Thanks. Yep. It all checked.
The letter that was delivered to me bore the Clarksons. A postcard decorated with a dragonfly. A single sheet of paper ordering me to investigate the Clarksons. And...
What's wrong, Aaliyah?
Excuse me? What?
Well, you're staring right at an empty pizza box.
Please don't compare yourself to me. Besides, I have a refined...
Hey! That was uncalled for. Pizza is a sacred food. You don't need to feel embarrassed for being unable. It enthralls all who gaze upon. That's the power of pizza.
Stop, Agent Jones. I've had enough of this sacred pizza bit. I'm sick of you Chicagoans and your obsession with pizza. Pizza, pizza, pizza. 24 hours a day. That's all you ever talk about. What's next? You gonna launch into a tirade about how deep dish is the only prop?
No. You just don't get it. As a Chicagoan, I'm proud. But get this. I love New York. It doesn't matter what kind of pizza it is. What? Okay, here. I'm gonna put it in terms that I'm sure all pizzas are created. Eat your heart out, Nietzsche.
Just forget I mentioned.
So, why did you decide to take this case?
Because it's my job.
Really? I don't
それ読めない私読めない
Why not?
You aren't just following orders here. You've got some kind of special... There's no use trying to hide it. Despite how I may look, data analysis is my forte. I don't mean to be nosy, but would it kill you to confide in me a little?
あ花火
I didn't manage to live this long simply because I'm fiendishly handsome. And besides,
リア
you're
ル
going to be
で
tiptoeing
なん
across
か
a thin line of legality with the rest of this
祭り
case.
あった
So
ですか
I'd prefer to have some probable cause. That way, at least I can back you up when you...
There exists in the world a single path along which no one can go. Whither does it lead?
You're pulling out Nietzsche at a time like this?
I have a little brother. After overdosing on a certain drug, he's been clean for 2 years now, but he still won't utter a single word. All day long, he's plagued by hallucinations.
あ
He can't tell if he's dead or alive,
ーなるほど
if this is reality or if it's all a dream.
Sang Rouge.
That's right. The doctor can't tell what's causing his condition, so they can't treat him. He just told me to prepare for the possibility that I may never get my brother back. This was his.
祭りとかじゃないね
I bought it for him after he
遊んだだけ。
graduated high school and found a job.
いいと思う
He never got a single chance to wear it, though. Someday, I believe that he'll get better. and I'll get to see him put this on and head out to work.
So you think that if we nab the person behind all this, we may figure out how to conquer the addiction?
Right.
You really think it'll be that easy?
I don't know. But I can't just sit around and do nothing. He's the only family I have.
What about your parents?
When I was only 13, Katrina leaving my 7-year-old brother and I behind. It's fine. I've already dealt with my
やら
past.
ないか。
Now I'm just working as hard as I can to
コロ
complete
ナ
the
の
duty
せい
I've
ね。
been given.
それは残念。
Hey, Agent, I just want to double check one thing. You didn't find anything in the bathroom.
Nope. Nothing in there.
It must be the bedroom then. Just like I thought.
ドイツも今年オクトーバーフェストあるかな。わからん。多分今年な
Are
い
you
ね。
serious about this?
Huh? Now you're having second thoughts?
Well, not exactly.
Then what?
I understand how you feel, but he's got an... And he used to be one of us.
So? The truth he's given us so far could all be completely fabricated. He's a genius lone wolf agent who solved nothing but difficult cases during his years of active duty. That's what they told me at Quanah over and over again. I had to listen to them talk about how no one could ever... Let's be real here. It was inhuman. It looked like the face of a killer who's been possessed by death. Patricia Clarkson is here, in the next room. Only a single wall. After 14 years, he went back to Le Carré. He's trying to complete something that's deeply connected to San.
パトリツィアここにいるか。わ。何それ。
What is all this? Pictures of people from Le Carré. And this wall is dedicated to Greenvale.
これ右のはね、それ、このゲームの位置、Deadly Premonition 1。
All the deceased have been Sheriff Melvin Wood. Lise Clarkson? Where's Patricia?
That's our altar. What are you doing?
York! Agent York! York! Agent York! York! Agent York! Hey! Agent York! Agent York? Hey! Hey, Agent York.
You're Lise Clarkson.
What's wrong? You're acting weird.
Sorry, Patty, I'm fine now. More importantly, do these red seeds come from some kind of plant that grows around this area?
I don't know. What do I look like, a botanist?
This isn't your average backwoods town. The Clarksons' ego and control has been piercing the town's heart like a massive dinosaur bone. But over this past century, time has been busy eroding the beast's power from within. And now, the very thing that once fortified this town is polluting it with putrid gas and rotten marrow. Zach, this is the point where it all collapses.
ちょっと待って、私早く行ってくる。虫にモスキートですか？モスキート？ああ、それはひどいね。ちょっと待って。
These red seeds keep sticking out to me, but we need to figure out what's going on with this altar before we focus. Isn't that right, Zach? After Lise Clarkson was murdered, her body was put back just like how Galena's body was dismembered, then rearranged. Lena Doman and PJ's bodies were also blown to pieces in the end. Perhaps that's the nature of the curse that's taken. What do you think, Zach? Is there any significance to these similarities? This altar is covered in burn marks, but there's hardly any residue left. There's no way for me to tell what was burned here. I could send it home for analysis, but is that really necessary? It'll just end up giving Abrahams more busy work. More importantly, Zach, someone who knew how to manipulate fire was behind all this. In other words, these roots prove that Lena was here. And that's enough for me. These bridge beams have a very unique shape to them. One straight support in the center, reinforced by V-shaped columns coming up diagonally from the sides. Did this bridge always look like this? Oh well, I'm sure it has nothing to do with this case. Let's move on with the inspect. Zach, this is an ominous sign. Among all the different footprints here are a set made from engineer boots. Yes, I know. He probably only made them when he came to inspect the scene. I'm sure that Patty and I left our own set of prints here too. But how do you explain the set that's inside the yellow tape? There's some decomposing cloth here. We saw the same type of cloth at the sugarcane plantation. They must have used that cloth when they transported Lisa's body, but who cares about mundane evidence like that? This isn't a case that can be solved by gathering the kind of evidence we'd need to submit to a court. There's a flat, evenly weighted stone. I bet we could use this to score an amazing stone skipping record. Let's give it a try whenever we get some downtime. For now, we need to focus on this investigation, Zach. The growth is all missing from this particular section. It wasn't just cutaway. She used fire to burn it. Everything was planned so meticulously, as if she wanted to show this altar to someone. That's why Chuck ended up discovering it.
Hey! FBI! What the hell you doing back here? You already solved the case, yeah? So go on. Shoot! Exactly how stupid are you? Every feller in town already knows.
Hey, Chuck. Can you...
I'd see the whole damn thing, along with your stupid ass standing there, trying to act.
You told me that the poacher's boat you were chasing disappeared around this area, correct?
Yeah, that's what I said, all right. What, you forget already? If you're just gonna waste our tax dollars out here, least you could do is catch them goddamn fucking FBI. Go.
Chuck, we don't chase down fishing boats. Unless it's a terrorist boat that plans to overthrow our government, that...
Huh, then stop acting all leery, like I ain't being truthful or whatever. I'm busy too, you know.
Zach, he just taught us what the true purpose of this altar is. It was built here so that the ritual could be watched from a boat.
What do you mean? They could have just walked out here. There's no reason why they had to watch it from a boat.
The goddess of fertility, Patty.
The goddess of fertility. A fine name indeed. So much blood has been shed, yet surely...
Of course I do, Hoongan. My work here isn't finished yet. You know, I could really use one of your oracles right now.
You're more fun than I... Here's the oracle you ask for. Speak to the 17 comrades who saw the birth, or feel the whole... The giant lady's finger points down toward your goal.
Poetic and graceful as ever, Hoot. Hungan's oracles are leading us toward the core of this cave. That's the one thing, but don't misunderstand, Zach. I'm not blindly following. I only follow my metaphysical offender profiling. The 17 comrades must refer to some area that has 17 of the same thing in it. We may need to use history to figure this one out. After all, we need to find someone or something that saw the birth of New Orleans. We can't just round up every last old person in town. Somewhere, there are 17 comrades who've survived for a very long time. The word comrade seems to suggest that they aren't inorganic objects such as buildings. Maybe they're statues made to look like... That's not it, Zach. The 17 comrade, remember, they were here to see the birth... The word comrade seems to suggest that they aren't inorganic... That's it, Zach. The French established the colony of La Nouvelle-Orléans in just about 300... The only 17 comrades that would have been around back then are the 300-year-old oak trees along a majestic road lined by oak trees. Come on, let's go ask these sages of Lucare for some help on our... Zach, the Holy Allah is a shockingly simple metaphor, especially considering the quality of the oracles we've read. It seems as if Hungan's poetic muse is fun. The great thing about us Americans is that we can recreate our homeland anywhere. We're happy to transport crunchy bacon across the deserts of Africa if we need to. That's what it means to be American, and this Holy Allah is just another example of that. From the early days of the frontier era, they've been helping us Americans be what we've always meant to be. Hey, Zach, Zach, there's no Allah there. Don't think so hard. The Holy Allah. Hey, Zach, that's it. I never doubted you, Zach. The Holy Allah refers to a water tower. Specifically that water tower with its Clarkson family crest. It must be hiding some sort of clue. Let's fill the Allah and see what it yields. Zach, what do you think the giant lady's finger is? I'm at a loss. I never thought one of Hungan's childish riddles would force me to think... But, oh well, I'm sure that as we deal with the rest of the oracle, it'll reveal itself to us. Listen carefully, Patricia. As my skill so I want you to answer me honestly.
Answer what?
Do you have any idea where Melvin might have gone?
No.
He didn't seem to be acting or talking differently than usual?
No.
Okay, I believe your words. Zach, we have a lot of work to do. It feels like we're finally approaching the climax here. We've been in this town for longer than we originally planned, haven't we? Oh no, I'm not complaining.
ベッドからやってるね。ベッドから。
There are some
だから、
inconveniences.
前
There's no movie
ヘッ
theater
ド
in
フォン
this
使
town.
ってなか
Nor
っ
is
た
there a
ね。
video rental store. And the
使わ
TV
ない。
in the hotel room
ベ
doesn't
ッ
get
ド
any of the
に
on-demand movie channels.
ベッドから
We'll just
ヘ
have to
ッド
get
フォン
lucky and
使わない。
encounter a movie being shown on TV. The movie environment in Lucare is no different from that of the 70s, Zach. No, they don't have a movie theater. So I suppose it's even farther back than that. But it's true that these are the times in which one always encounters the best movies. Lena Doman, aka
レッドカラーいいね。
Professor R. How could such an intelligent person like her suffer such a tragic downfall? Does the South really corrupt people like Patty said? This sunlight certainly seems capable of breaking someone down. No matter how you try to resist it. It's so hot, it
い
feels
きなり
like
寝
it's
ない
burning
ね。
up. But that doesn't explain it. Perhaps we really do need to focus on the Clarkson bloodline itself. Everything in this town, whether it's visible or invisible, it all carries shades of their influence. Why do you think the Clarksons chose a dragonfly for their family crest? In some European countries, dragonflies are called devil's needles, and folklore suggests that they fly around, sewing up the mouths of children who don't do as they're told. In Japan, some samurai helmets are also shaped like dragonflies. There, dragonflies are seen as beneficial insects who march valiantly ahead, preying on... Did you notice it yet? The streets in New Orleans were... We've been in this town for longer than we originally planned, haven't we? Oh no, I'm not complaining. I'm used to living out of a hotel, and I love southern food. There are some inconveniences, though. There's no movie theater in this town, nor is there a video rental store, and the TV in the hotel room doesn't get any of the on-demand movie channels. We'll just have to get lucky and encounter a movie being shown on TV. The movie environment in Lucarin is no different from that of the 70s, Zach. Hey, want to talk about bridges? Why? I've become obsessed with bridges, Zach, and there's no turning back now. Remember what we saw on our way here? That...
眠いから？大丈夫。
This thing sure looks tall when you look at it up close. But why do they gotta build it up so high anyway?
The height gives them the necessary pressure to pump the water out.
あれはこのゲームの
Also,
家
building
族
it in
の
a spot where anyone could easily access it would only create more problems.
Problems?
In a certain
Hello,
Missouri
Brittany.
town, they built the water tower low enough that a person could easily climb up to it. And that's exactly where a mass murderer decided to hide the bodies of all his victims. The water tower was so low to the ground that he could even climb up to it while carrying a dead body on his back. Incidentally, they ended up finding a total of 43 bodies in there. But the part that truly shocked Zach and I wasn't the number of bodies,
じゃあ
Patty.
僕またベッドからや
It
る
was the
ね。
fact that over the 6 months from the first murder to when the case was solved, that whole time, the townspeople had been drinking the water.
Agent York, look! I think we can climb up from there. Let's go.
But Patty, I was just getting to the good part.
So this is our town. Looking down on it from here, it's hard to imagine any bad stuff ever happened at all.
Listen carefully, Patricia. You just leave Melvin to me. I promise I'll take care of things. You're grown up. You're more of an adult than anyone else in this town, I guarantee it. But that doesn't mean you have to suffer through everything without ever saying a word about it. Just remember that, okay? Zach, it looks like the holy Allah hasn't been sucking up water properly. No wonder the shower in our hotel room felt so weak. Patty, who manages this water tower?
This is Lucare. You should know the answer to that by now.
The Clarksons. Judging from their current situation, I don't think they'll be able to give us a timely response.
Yeah.
Do you know where the water comes from?
Probably Isaac Lake?
That settles it. Let's fill the holy Allah and solve this problem ourselves.
I knew you were gonna say that, Agent York.
Banwa, Batobo-san. Ja, die Mission hatte bei mir auch gebuggt. Bevor man nicht die Hauptmission macht, ne, konnte ich das nicht machen. Konnte ich nicht duschen. Da.
So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking about him. Unga. Is the skeletal gentleman friend or foe? Or does he merely exist outside the realms of either? Still too early to tell. But it's clear that he'll be the key to uncovering this case's mysteries. That's what my soul tells me. By the way, Zach, Hungan feels very familiar to me. You might even say he reminds me of someone. Yes, I think I see the connection now. A cheerful, wise, yet also mysterious African. Zach, do you sense that? These trees have watched over. Long before the Clarksons built up their town, these trees were. If they could speak, I wonder what they'd have to say about this. Has there always been a different number of trees on each side?
Yeah. I heard that by the time our town came along, a general from the South might have cut one down during the Civil War.
Intriguing, Patty.
I don't know. Folks say he planted a red tree in its place. I don't know.
Zach,
Hey,
the shape of
Fernanda's
these
son.
seeds. They look just like the ones we saw at Lisa's altar.
Animal Crossing? Ich denke nicht, nein. Wieso?
Patty, it appears that legend about the red tree wasn't a total lie.
Insektenturnier?
The first tree is withered and gone, but the shells
Nur
from its
heute,
seeds
oder wie?
remain.
Nur heute?
Perhaps that red tree left some descendants somewhere else.
Fernandes. Dalmatiner. Neruka. Oyasumi.
Zach, he seems to know something that we don't. Doesn't it seem like he's trying to
Nur
guide us
heute?
somewhere?
Okay, dann. Ich denke, ich gucke mal rein. Turnier.
What? What's going on?
Ein paar Monate. Oha.
Change of plans, Patty. Let's go on a little stroll with that Dalmatian.
Ich freue mich auf Dings. Halloween. Halloween machen die bestimmt gute Events bei Animal Crossing, ne? Halloween wird bestimmt gut. Denke ich. 発音違うのか。ダルメンアン。ドイツ語違うね。ドイツ語はダルマティーナ。何したい？犬連れてて。早く。俺もっと早いね。Ja, dieses Oster-Event, ne? Mit den Eiern, das war echt nervig. Fand ich auch nicht gut. Aber Halloween wird gut, denke ich. Halloween. Ich denke schon. So gruselig und so, ne? $500. Ah, okay. Zusammen ist umsonst. Mal gucken. Patricia も来る？来るね。わあ、どこ行くね。echt?
Isaac Lake?
Oha. Oishikatta. さっきエビ食べた。お、エビいいね。エビ、私も好きです。バイオやりたいけど。今日バイオやりたい。でももう何時ですか ?1 時。
When he retired, they built this lake to commemorate his career. That's why it's called Isaac Lake.
They wanted people to remember the power.
You sure don't miss a beat.
The water level's higher than I expected. They probably haven't been out here to check on it since Lise was murdered.
I bet that's where the water gets sucked up into the water tower.
なんでこんなに眠いね、私。今日。あは。
Mr.
Funny.
Alligator.
Mr. Alligator.
Never thought I'd have to use you to fight a real alligator. Just what does that skeletal gentleman have in mind for us, Zack?
殺したいのか？でかいね。お、いっぱいです。これ無視すればいいんじゃないのかな。パトリツィアどうなる？パトリツィア大丈夫。多いね。
Open the door, Patty.
ああ、そっか。
Now, Patty. Huh.
あ、どこでもワニ。
Okay, Zach. Let's head back to the Holy Olive. We need to confirm with our own eyes that we've completed the skeletal gentleman.
Ima 全部戻りたい。じゃあ待って、私トイレ行ってくるね。
This is the deep south. I feel it every time that molten hot sun pours down on me. Is this the red tree that General planted?
No way! This is a maple.
A maple tree? Then it shouldn't be red at this time of...
You're right. A long time ago, they told me they used to go on dates here. Back Mama would make sandwiches. Then my mama was really pretty. When I was a kid, I believed she was a real god. Under the boughs of a legendary tree that stayed red, one man managed to win the heart of the most beautiful...
Looks like it's time to... What a fantastic guide we managed to find. He actually waited for us to finish talking. Hey, Patty. How would you rate this creation?
Not bad, I reckon. They made good use of its natural form, while also pulling out the artificial color also looks pretty. You don't usually see this level of harmony. Something unnatural always ends.
Zach, did you catch all that? She sounded just like the curator of an art gallery. I think we may have just uncovered a new side. But unfortunately, I can't see anything artistic about it. Honestly, it looks insane. That's all I get from it. And there's no way that this is a descendant of the tree that the general planted. Zach, now this is interesting. It looks like a tree that you could find anywhere. Yet, it's also unlike any other. Completely alien. And look how it's weaved its way into the landscape. Almost like cancer cells invading a human body. You might not even notice it unless you're focused on finding it. And this feeling. As I gaze upon this tree, I can feel evil emotions rising out from within me. Why on earth did that southern general bring this tree into this town?
아, 이때라샤이.
I promise to protect you from all the evil in our world. Do not touch this tree. Got that, Patty?
眠いね。天気のせいかな。今日眠い。結構いっぱい寝たけど、8時間くらい寝たかも。何この眠いさね。
I feel like they showed us a side of nature that transcends the realms. Next up is the Holy Allah. According to the Oracle, the Holy Allah needs to be... We may be due for another childish puzzles, but that's okay. After all, we came all the way out here to the boondocks.
私寝ない。
Why not enjoy playing by
寝
their
ない
rules
寝
for
な
a
い
bit?
と思う。眠いけど私眠いけど多分寝れないね。そう今こっちね。わあ遠い。全然眠くないか。僕死にません。それは無理。
Why do you think the Clarksons chose a dragonfly for their family crest? In some European countries, dragonflies are called devil's needles, and folklore suggests that they fly around, sewing up the mouths of children who don't do as they're told. In Japan, some samurai helmets are also shaped like dragonflies. There, dragonflies are seen as beneficial insects who march valiantly ahead, preying on the pests that devour crops. In other words, dragonflies symbolize opposite things depending on whether you're in the east or the west. But why did the Clarksons choose this insect to be their symbol? I can't help but feel like it's something deeper than the cliched image of dragonflies as guardians of crops. Bungan called the dragonfly a flying serpent. His interpretation is right on the mark. The Clarksons are serpentine. Savage, cunning, and skilled at protecting themselves, but they don't slither along the ground. They're serpents with wings that allow them to soar above the rest, but now those wings are starting to fail on them. That's what really triggered this incident. After acquiring wings, the serpent attained prosperity and was crowned in glory. But now it's lost its power, wavering, moments away from plummeting back down to the earth. So it started lashing out against others, just like it used to do before it gained its wings. Sort of sounds like an ancient myth, doesn't it, Zach?
Nanu? Nanu はびっくりした時とか使う。Nanu.
Were you thinking about Galena too? And all the other women we've seen so far on our travels across the states? Zach, I'm right, aren't I? This is a vast country. Incredibly vast. And it's mostly composed of mountains, deserts, and farmland, with small towns scattered about here and there. That's how America looks to me. Compared to the scale of this entire country, New York, Chicago, and LA are all microscopic. Sometimes they even feel like figments of my imagination. Think back to what Las Vegas looked like. Driving up I-15, it was a mirage. TV and movies dress up those mirages and broadcast them to people all around the world. Meanwhile, American women are fascinated by the gorgeous city lights and are drawn toward those illusions. The same women who were chosen as prom queens in their small towns. In the end, all they find are ghosts. Once their eyes adjust to that blinding light, they realize there's nothing but vanity and lust surrounding them. They finally figure out that it was all in their heads. Then they quickly try to satisfy themselves with something else. Drugs. And drugs are the gateway to a whole pantheon of crime. Zach, remember what you told me once? The women who turn to crime aren't the evil ones. The drugs aren't evil. They're nothing but chemicals. The ones who feed off those women and use them. They're the ones to hate. Let's go, Zach. We need to find the person who's...
結構4回くらい1日4回
Zach, the holy
散歩
Allah is filling up.
犬持ってる人ね
Looks like we'll be able to take a warm, invigorating shower tonight.
結構大変あと普通外に犬うんこしてもダメこんな感じで犬うんこするね後で、
Patty,
そ
are
の
you
犬
okay?
飼ってる人そのうんこを取る、なんか、
no.
バグでね
Not
バグ
really.
ベックねバグで取るあとそれゴミに入れる
Worried about your
あ日
parents?
本もそうか
Well, of course I am.
結構な
My
ん
mom
か
is
大
sick,
変
you
ね
know. And she got even worse starting about a year ago. She used to be so beautiful, but now she looks like a completely different
boy.
person.
それわからん
She can't even get up out of her own bed no more.
I'm sorry to hear that.
そうそれ多分もう10年からかなその
I already hurt you
Lau.
once in the past. Now it looks like...
No, I know Mama's illness ain't your fault, Agent York. It's more
いや
about
普通いいけ
Daddy.
ど
He...
そうやったら
He what?
公園とかきれいね、
Nothing. Just
草
forget it.
とかね僕の子供の頃そのルールなかった
I said get down here, goddammit!
The heir to the Clarkson legacy has come for us, Zach.
You rotten little snakes! This is private...
喧嘩したいか
I could arrest you for drunk driving, but I simply haven't got...
What? Ever since you got here... You came here to destroy...
Satan. I'm just an agent carrying out a mission in accordance with federal law. On the contrary, I came to put a stop to all these problems. You might even consider thanking me for it.
犬ね犬は猫よりもっと、時間かかると思う 猫はもっと、猫はもっと自分でやってる。犬はちょっともっと時間かかるね。なんで笑ってる？
You hear? Bastard wants me to.
You reap what you sow.
私多分後で田舎ところに住んだらね、田舎。
Whether you like it or not,
犬飼いたい。
you're the new
犬。
heir to the Clarkson legacy.
そう、もちろん。銀行は全部自分でやってる。猫、あと、銀行、猫は結構、一人ぼっちの好きね、猫。
You could rebuild their empire.
あとで、
resign it to the
田舎に
ravages
住み
of
たい
time.。
私。田舎好きです、私。
Do whatever you like.
散歩しなかった。私、銀行散歩しなかった。一回だけ、医者に行ったね。医者。
But you'll no longer be able to borrow a certain someone's power and march around like you own this town.
きれい。ドイツの田
You
舎
need to accept that and prepare to
いや、き
survive.
れいです。結構、緑とか多いね。結構、森に近い。ポストマン来た。
Zach, it's no use. The
かすみさん
skeletal
も
gentleman is a strict one,
田
that's for
舎住
sure.
みたい。一緒
We're going
に
to have to
住み
figure
ましょ
out
う
what。the giant lady's finger is if
田舎
we
いい
want to
ね。
continue on with this oracle. Lady's finger. Lady's finger. I'm at a loss, Zach. The only thing that comes to mind is a certain lady in glasses who displayed her middle finger to a truck driver. The student driver who was driving the car that Leslie Nielsen jumped into in order to chase down a criminal.
ドイツの田舎の、女の人のトラディション服知ってる？ドイツ人女の。あれも綺麗ね。
1988, directed by David Zucker, The Naked Gun. That car chase was terrific. It felt like we were watching one of our own car chases from the real world. That director must have gotten some advice from actual police officers.
見たことある。
Otherwise, there's no way he would have been able to film such a
so-
realistic chase.
なんか田舎の人ね、なんか祭りとかやったら祭りとかね、その時そういう服着てる。日本の着物みたいね。そんな感じ。
Hey, Agent York,
イベン
can I
ト
say
や
something?
祭りで着てる。そう、その人もオクトーバーフェストね、それ。ビール祭りね。そう、その時もその服着てる。似 似
If
て
you're
る
looking
服
for
かな
ladies'
似
fingers,
てる服
you
ね
know that's another name for okra, right?
全部同じじゃないけどなんか
Another
町と
name
町
for
変わるドイツの南とドイツの北服変わるね
Yeah, okra's pretty common here in Louisiana, so most people know about its other name.
よ来てましょう
My talented assistant
かすみさん
strikes
に
again.
会おう
You solved the oracle instead of me. Let's hurry over to the okra farm at once, then. And find the biggest piece of okra while we're at it.
Hey, Agent York.
The key word is giant, so it must be rather... I'll bet it looks positive. And just imagine the stickiness. Ooh.
Hey, Agent York. Our town doesn't have an okra farm.
No?
Relax. Just follow me. I reckon I know it.
So, パトリツィア道教える早いねおは見た飛んだね何それJa, Dorf ist schön, ne? Dorf ist gemütlich.
Hey, Agent York. Where are you going? Stay close to me or I'm not gonna...
どうした
Not that. Stay focused.
もしかしてスケートボードダメかないや違うところ行くので怒ってるね普通違うじゃないけどこのゲームここは面白くないでもその、戦うところねあれは面白いです昨日私自分でやったね夜あれそこは面白いそこだけ面白い結構いっぱい敵来るねそこで戦うあとボスもあるボスファイトあれ面白いですずっとそんな感じじゃないねここの面白くないクエスト Ist die Kleidung nur in Bayern? Nein. Auch andere Städte. Nicht nur Bayern. Bayern hat andere als Norddeutschland, ne? Etwas anders. Aber was alle so kennen, ne? In der Welt, so alle kennen, das von Bayern, das. Die Kleidung. So bekannt, ne? Jogging Simulator. 走りシミュレーター、これ。あ、来た。
This is the giant lady's finger. Okra boy.
オクラ。私、オクラ嫌いね。オクラね。その食べ物。野菜ね。知ってる？あれ嫌いです。私嫌い。
He's kind of like the town mascot.
他結構、結構好きね。全部野菜。でもこのオクラ嫌い。
Okra boy.
Okra boy.
You're right. No matter how you look at him, he really is a giant lady's finger. But Patty, there's no okra farm in this town, is there?
スティッキー？そう、なんかスティッキーね。と、味もそんなに好きじゃない。つく。オクラはダメね。
Then why did they choose okra for the town mascot?
Good question.
オクトーバーフェストも
He's
いや
been here for
今
as
年
long
多
as I
分オ
can
クトーバー
remember.
フェストないかな多分ないね。わからん。ニュ
Daddy
ース
said
で
he
まだ言っ
remembers
てな
Okra
かった。
boy being around when he was a
で
kid
も
too.
ないと思うね。ないと思う。今年。
The plot thickens.
なんかあってでもめっちゃ人少ないかなね。嫌いじゃないです。本当
Zach,
に。
doesn't it look like he's
私
pointing
野
at
菜好
something?
き。よく野菜食べる。
Let's
でも
follow
オ
that
クラ
white
だ
glove.
け嫌い。
Patty,
昨日も野菜食べた。ナスね。ナス食べました。
So this used to be the control device for the drawbridge, but it looks like its insides have been replaced with something else.
お、ブロッコリー私も好き。ブロッコリーいいね。私も好き。
Oh yeah. I remember Daddy
で
telling
も
me about
私
this.
ブロッコリー食べるときね、いつも、ソースつける。ソースね。
This
お
drawbridge
肉ソー
hasn't
ス。
been used for decades
あれと美
now.
味しい。
So the control room doesn't work.
ブロッコリ
And the power's
ー
been
ソ
disconnected.
ース、あとステーキ、肉とかね、あとじゃがいも。すごいコンボ。
A password that requires
puzzle.
3 letters?
パズルか
Looks that
な ?AAA。
What's this then? There's an H on the top, bottom, and left sides of the leftmost panel.
H über unter und links.
Patty, trial and error won't get us anywhere. There are 26 letters in the alphabet, which makes for 17,576 different... Let's try something more efficient.
I know that. I was just fiddling with it. So, what do you want to try, Agent York?
ヒント必要。
Just leave this to Zach and I.
シット。ちょっと待って。蜂蜜、8入ったね。わあ、ひどい。ちょっと待って。
Zach, this password may look complicated at first glance, but you needn't worry. This is a chemical formula. A challenge from Professor R. The H that's tattooed all over the leftmost panel stands for hydrogen. In other words, the leftmost panel represents the molecule you get when 3 hydrogen atoms merge. All we need to do is figure out which chemicals go in the remaining panel. Try reviewing what we know. We spoke to the 17 comrades who saw the birth of New Orleans, filled the Holy Allah, then found the giant lady's finger pointing toward the entrance to the Forbidden. After we met the 17 comrades, we encountered that ominous red tree. There was sap dripping out from the red tree's trunk, wasn't there? That must have been a metaphor for wood vinegar. Then, in order to fill the Holy Allah, we went to the reservoir. The water tower represents a distillator, and the water represents coolant. Wood vinegar, distillator, and water, Zach. Figured it out yet? The chemical formula is CH3OH, methanol. It's got to be COH, starting from the left in that order. Methanol is highly flammable and used as the base ingredient in formaldehyde. This has Professor R's name written all over it. That oracle really sent us on a roundabout mission this time. It almost feels like we're playing a video game here. Talk about stupid. Zach, start at the left window. Then put in C, O, and H. The answer is methanol.
ただいまけど、まあどこに行っちゃったか
Zach,
な。
start at the left window.
その8。
Then put in C, O,
でかい
and
でしたね。
H. The answer is methanol.
好きなもの、女。
Zach, start at the left window. Then put in C, O, and H. The answer is methanol.
いや、でかいでしたね。
Then
多
put
分
in C, O,
キン
and
グかな。
H. The
そ
answer
の
is
8
methanol.
のキングね。クイーンね。クイーン。本当にでかいでした。
Zach, start at the left window. Then put in C, O, and H. The answer is methanol.
Okay.
Zach, start at the left window. Then put in C, O, and H. The
熱いよね。
answer is methanol.
これ何したい
Zach, start at the left window. Then put in C, O, and H. The answer is methanol.
C, O.
Zach, start at the left window. Then put in C, O, and H. The answer is methanol.
とは。そう、B キング。本当に B キング
Zach,
でし
start
た
at
と
the
思う
left
ね
window.。
でかい
Then
で
put
し
in
た。
C, O, and H. The answer is methanol.
OK。
That must be
まあ
the
多分
entrance to the forbidden.
窓から外に行ったかな。
You can't touch that! Smarty pants scientist.
Avery Smith.
Drawbridge don't work no more.
You're right, Avery, but don't worry. I got permission to touch it.
Permission? Agent, you're...
いや、主人公教えてたね。パズル。
That's right. Permission from the President of the United States.
The President?
そう、早く整備したい。
He's a
あと
smarty
ご飯行きたいね。腹減った。
Okay. I did...
Hey, Agent York, are you...
Yes?
I'm getting...
That's a rare word to hear. I don't see much in there aside from some
No, that's not it. I'm not
お疲れ。
scared of the weeds.
今何時？
I'm scared of what you'll
あ
find,
と
Agent
1時
Lord.
間くらいかすみさんとやるかな。
You
あ
don't
と
need
1
to
時
worry,
間
Patty.
かすみさ
You're
ん
my
寝る。
precious assistant, remember? I promise I'll protect you, no matter what.
そう整備したい。近くにあるかな。待ってる。ここあるか。おかえり。
Were you thinking about Galena too? And all the other women we've seen so far on our travels across the states? Zach, I'm right, aren't I? This is a vast country. Incredibly vast. And it's mostly composed of mountains, deserts,
Bio?
and farmland.
あと
Small
1時
towns
間
scattered
くらい
about
や
here
る
and
かな。
there. That's how America looks to me.
日本の朝でやれ
This
ば
entire country.
ドイツの夜、日本の朝。でも日本の朝、かすみさんやれない、多分ね。日本朝、
Think back to
朝
Las
時間。
Vegas, though. When we were driving up I-15, it was a mirage. The TV and movies dress up those mirages and broadcast them to people all around the world.
どこ
Meanwhile, American women become fascinated by the
おい
boy.
このコントロール。朝何時？朝7時とか？朝7時は7時とか。4時とか4時はここ何時 ?3、2、1、12、11、10、9。普通4時もできるね。4時もできるかも。4時もいいね。その時間もいい。なるほど。いや、見ましょう。多分その時間、あと1時間や朝4時くらいね。早いか、4時。この家できてないね。ノー階段。
Did you notice it yet? The street.
そう。久しぶりにやりましょう。 ダメか。硬いね。あと1時間。OK。
Were you thinking about Galena too? And all the other women we've seen so far on our travels across the states?
頑張る。
Zach, I'm right, aren't I? This is a vast country.
わっ、びっくりした。後ろに8あると思った。わおい。
Zach, it appears to be closed.
プラス買わなきゃ。
Let's come back during...
プレイステーションプラ、多分私もね。多分私も買う必要。俺のも、私のも、なくなったと思う。結構最近プレイステーションやってなかったね。私もかも。仕方ないね。セーブしてたね。もう一回セーブしようか。できないと思う。プレイステーションプラスないとで、オンラインできないね。できないね。スケートボードトリックいつもできない。なんか飛んだらできるね。飛んだらどこですか？本当に見えない。あ、これか。私はスマホから買おう。僕もスマホからと思う。私いつもキーショップね。キーショップで買う。私いくらだっけね。値段も忘れた。 Made in Germany. わこのゲームドイツに作ったか。クライゼスはドイツ？クライゼスはドイツか。知らなかった。ドイツはゲーム作るのそんなにうまくないね。と思う。でもポイント&クリックゲーム少し面白いけど。そう、私もクライズ知らなかった。ドイツので。2D アクション。そういうゲームね。名作？私やったことないです。クライシスやったことないね。発売時知ってるけど、でも私のパソコンでできなかった。クライシス。その時やれなかったね。ご飯行くか。眠いね。ご飯食べたらコーヒーも飲む。終わるね、今私。